I retired at 55, not 65, not 62, 55. And if I'm being honest, there were moments leading up to my retirement where I wondered if I was making a huge mistake. Would I have enough money? What if something unexpected happened? What if I needed to access my retirement savings sooner than planned? But here's the crazy part. A few months after I retired, I learned there was a retirement rule that could give me access to my 401k years earlier than most people think possible. And I absolutely had no idea about it. So today I want to share what I learned and why every person thinking about retiring before 60 should know about it. We all have this fear that no one talks about. It's one of the biggest fears that people have about retiring early. It isn't actually retiring, it's running out of options. When you're 55, most people assume that your retirement accounts are locked away. You've probably heard it your entire life. Don't touch your retirement money until 59 and a half. So when we made the decision to retire early, I believed the same thing. I thought those accounts were basically off limits. Thankfully, we had other savings, we had a solid plan, but like most people, I still wondered. I thought about things like, what if something changes? What if we need a little extra flexibility? What if life throws us a curveball? We all know that life throws curveballs. So in my retirement story, when I retired at 55, no one in our circle was doing this. Most people were still working. People my age were still chugging along at their jobs. Most people were waiting. Most people thought retirement happened much later. I had people I worked with that were older than me that were still just like a few more years. But Tyke and I had different goals. We wanted time. We wanted to have freedom. We wanted experiences while we were still young enough and healthy enough to really enjoy them. So we made the leap. And honestly, retirement turned out to be even better than I expected. But then I stumbled across something that surprised me, a retirement rule I had never heard anyone mention, and the more I learned about it, the more shocked I became. So here's the big reveal. It's called the Rule of 55. Now, before you get too excited, I am not a financial advisor, and everyone's situation is just a little bit different. So you need to know all the particulars. But according to retirement expert Lisa Smith, the Rule of 55 allows certain people to access money from their current employer's 401k without the normal 10% early withdrawal penalty. Isn't that awesome? Let me say that again. There is no early withdrawal 10% penalty at all. Years before the normal age we think, 59 and a half. When I heard that, my reaction was like, wait, is this for real? Is this a real thing? And this really matters. Here's what got my attention. The Rule of 55 wasn't what made me retire. I had already retired. I was 55 last year, and then I learned about it. But discovering afterwards felt like finding an extra safety net I didn't even know existed. And sometimes retirement isn't about needing more money. It's about knowing you have options. That confidence matters a lot. It matters a lot because retirement is as much about emotional as it is financial. So who really needs to pay attention to this? If you're in your 40s, this rule might seem really far away. But if you're in your early 50s and you're dreaming about retirement, this could be one of the most important retirement rules you've ever heard of, especially if you spent years assuming that your retirement accounts are completely untouchable before 59 and a half. The details matter, the rules matter, and that's why I'm encouraging you to learn about it. So this is what I wish I'd known. Looking back, I wish I'd known about the rule of 55 before I retired. Not because it would have changed my decision, I was ready to retire. But it would have given me even more confidence. And confidence is incredibly valuable when you're making one of the biggest life decisions you'll ever make. So if you've never heard of the rule of 55 before today, you're not alone. I hadn't either. And if you'd like a deeper explanation from a retirement expert, my friend Lisa Smith recently made an entire video breaking down the rule of 55, who qualifies, and how it works. Because there are certain things that will maybe disqualify you. There are really important decisions that you make. There are important steps that you have to take. I didn't know years ago when I had taken my last job that I retired from. I had a few previous jobs that I had 401ks at because, we're not in the days where everyone works 40 years at the same employer. Most people work, 5 to 8 years at one job and then they move on to the next job. And that's just the life we're living right now. So if you are doing that in your career and you have all these different 401ks from employers, which hopefully you're doing the max match for your employer for putting into your 401k. If you have all these old 401ks, you need to know to roll those over into your current employer's 401k. I did that a few years ago. When I got the job that I retired from, I rolled them all over, and I'm so grateful that I did because those count toward your retirement account that you retired from at the age of 55 or the year after. So these little things are important. So I will link Lisa's video detailing all these little rules and nuances of how the rule works and if it's going to work for you. And I will link that in my video description. And let me know. I want to know if you've ever heard of the rule of 55 before today. And are you planning to retire early? And if so, what age are you hoping to retire?